This is the Sports Stop with your hosts, James, Evan, and Kurt, only on WSJU Radio.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to the Sports Stop here on WSJU Radio, the voice of St. John's University. I'm WSJU's own James Mitchell. Alongside me are my partners Evan McGuire, Kurt Sem, and a new person just came into the booth. Please introduce yourself to me, because I don't know who you are. LeVar? LeVar what?
LeVar Burton.
LeVar Burton. See, I like that name. I can remember that name. LeVar Burton. LeVar, welcome to the Sports Stop here on WSJU Radio. In my opinion, we are one of the finest sports shows on the radio ever. You're right, Kurt. Ever. Yeah, Mike Francesa. Come on now. Former St. John's great Mike Francesa, by the way. So it is the 22nd of September. You can call in during the show at 718-990-3SJU. That's 718-990-3758. Week 3 of the NFL season just passed, and that means Week 3 of domestic violence reports and stories just passed.
That was a good one, dude. Did you write that?
No, I didn't. That was off the top of my head.
Oh, spin off the dome.
I stopped writing rundowns and jokes years ago.
Ever since that YOLO script.
Ever since the YOLO script that is still somewhere in the studio.
Yeah, no. During my first show, Jada found that script and was like, who actually took the time to write this? I was like, hey, that's a very detailed script of what happened that show.
Yeah.
That was a fantastic script.
It was that the last episode last semester?
Yeah, at no point was I wondering, like, what are we doing today? At no point did I ever have to think about that.
Exactly. We always knew what we were going to do. So top stories of the day. Like I said, Goodell faced the media for the first time on Saturday. Did any of you guys watch it? I know, Evan, you did because I was with you.
Yeah. I mean, he looked pretty shaky up there. And then he showed up to his own press conference 17 minutes late. That was the first thing that got media pissed. Just another thing to add on to his list.
Except, here's my thing. If you're going to a media event that's purely based on what you have to say, is it possible to be late to that event? Yes. If everyone's just listening to you... Wait, no, but, like, think about it. How are you late to something if the reason everyone's there is to hear you speak?
Because
it's on his time.
2 o'clock.
Except, he's not just going to go out there. He has to, like... I'm guarantee you they're way too...
He has to get his facts straight so he doesn't...
Yeah, like, I'm sure...
Say,
I'm sure he was... I'm sure he, they gave him a room where he could look out at the scene, like, and then be like, "Oh, you have 15 minutes to like answer how you just have been failing to do your job for the last since you started."
I would want to get out there and get it over with as soon as possible, and not.
But it's easy for you. It's easy for you to say that a kid in the radio booth, but then being Roger Goodell and having messed up every single chance he's had to do right, and the only reason he's been correcting himself with the Ray Rice suspension is because everyone just got so it's all about being politically correct, and that's the NFL. They did their punishment and then they were like, oh, everyone's mad about it, so we need to add on to it because society is deeming it not okay. So they're not really making and Roger Goodell even said, he's like, I know I've sucked, but maybe I can do better, and we'll just have to wait and see.
LeVar, did you watch it?
No,
you didn't watch it. Yeah, it happens.
Didn't miss much.
He didn't really miss much. The thing was, he pretty much said, "Hey, listen, I screwed up. The NFL office is screwed up. We did not see the tapes, but we screwed up and we're going to fix it." But then later on that day, reports came out that the Ravens front office and the ownership all covered it up. They all saw the tapes or knew about the tape and neglected to watch it or whatever.
But he's their star player, so...
Exactly. And, Ray Rice is a good guy, don't get me wrong. He always goes to charitable events for the Ravens. He's pretty much the face of their franchise because he is the star.
I mean, Joe Flacco's not?
No, Joe Flacco is not. Even though he gets paid like it because he's the quarterback. Joe Flacco... Well, maybe now he is because Ray Rice isn't there anymore. Maybe it's going to be Steve Smith or something like that. But... He's their star player. And I guess they didn't want to get rid of him, or because he's such a nice guy, they didn't want him to
he's such a nice guy that he knocked out his girlfriend in an elevator.
I mean, she probably said she probably didn't want it to go that far either.
Right, of course not.
And then Ray's saying he's like appealing the suspension because he said their tapes are edited or something like that.
Yeah, he says that TMZ cut the tapes down. So instead of seeing the full tape, the extended version, because apparently there's an extended version, like the Lord of the Rings director's cut, they just showed the actual blow to the face, and now he's appealing that was taken out of context, I guess you could say.
Wow.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
You take that out.
And also he's appealing the fact that it was a 2-game suspension, that now it's indefinite, and he's cut from the team. So I don't know the legal mumbo jumbo. I don't know if his argument is legitimate. But we'll see, and we'll let due process take its course. Speaking of due process, Adrian Peterson, first he was reinstated with the Vikings on last Monday, after our show, so it was news. It's breaking news for us right now. And then later that night, he was then banished.
I had no idea that he got banished again. I had no idea until I think Friday.
Yeah.
I think Friday I found out because I looked at fantasy and he was projected 0. I'm like, that makes no sense. That makes no sense. Why would he be 0?
Just like, that's funny that's how you were like.
That's how I find out.
Like,
That's the way it goes.
But there's another situation of like an NFL team deciding judgment on like how their players should be disciplined, and then everyone in like everyone in America was like, wait, no, you can't. No, that's not okay. You can't let him play. And then the Vikings were like, oh, never mind, he's cut until this is figured out.
I mean, the pictures of his son's scars and cuts or everything, they came out later that Monday. I don't know if the Vikings saw them. I want to say they did.
Yeah,
but the public didn't. But I don't think the public saw them. And once the public saw them, then they had to retract their activation of Adrian Peterson.
Was it as bad as it sounds?
I haven't seen it.
I didn't look at him.
I mean, we could definitely look at him right now. It's not like we don't have...
I don't think we have any technology here that can do that, though. That's crazy.
So, yeah, another domestic issue that is tainting the NFL. And after all the other leagues are learning this now, because right after the NFL came out with their what am I trying to say here? Their new policy on domestic violence, baseball, MLB, just sort of revisited that. So, I mean, it's better to do it before than after. Kurt, do you have them up?
I do. They're not that bad. They're really not. It looked like he fell down. Like, I don't think he was... No, this is ridiculous.
I mean, nowadays you can't touch a kid. Like,
That's
you can't hit him, and you can't, especially if you can't cause damage or anything like that.
You can't leave any marks.
You can't leave any marks. You shouldn't hit him at all. And what could a 4-year-old do that would cause?
He got in an argument over a game.
Like, seriously, relax. You don't need to whip your child with tree branches and cause lacerations.
I feel like that's not a tree branch to whip, though.
I mean, I don't know what it was. Maybe some new report came out.
Because it wraps around his arm.
And I think also the entire thing that his other son did pass away.
Yeah.
From...
That's true.
Yeah, from the...
Like, kind of, like, he drowned, right? Or something like that.
No, it was from... Wasn't it from, like, the ex-wife's boyfriend?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what it was.
Just, like, whenever you have history of something, like, anything, anything dealing with, child abuse in your history is always going to, like, raise flags whenever you're being questioned for it in your present.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a good time for Adrian Peterson.
Or the NFL.
Especially the NFL. Because they are...
The funny thing about the NFL is that, like, they might, like, we're all like, oh, the NFL's awful and they have no, like, sympathy towards anyone, but, like, still... They're still making buttloads of money every Saturday and Monday night. Even despite all this, everyone still tunes in on Sunday. And, like, Because
it's Thursday.
Yeah, sure, Thursday.
I don't know if I'm tuned in on Thursday as much as any other day. Speaking of that, I was listening to the ratings today, and the rating for the 4 o'clock Seattle Seahawks Denver Bronco rematch, that was at a 16.9.
Is that the highest?
That was the highest of the day. The Sunday night game, Pittsburgh and Carolina, a meager 12.3, and the rest of the Sunday games, like the CBS local channels, 11.1. So they almost beat that night game.
Wow. So why are the Jets and Bears playing tonight?
I don't listen.
In primetime instead of Seattle and Denver.
Let's get this straight. The Jets, they're not a bad team.
No, they're not a bad team.
I wouldn't say they're a good team.
They're just not Monday night primetime against the Bears.
Yeah, but it is New York City, though.
But you have
where the most people.
New York. You have Seattle and Denver playing each other.
That's true, but
on
then
a Sunday on CBS they got 16-something.
Yeah, but CBS. Rating. Yeah, but CBS got the rights to that game.
Yes,
and then it's honestly like you have to think. There's 3 networks all competing for each game, and that's why the Super Bowl always it switches from ABC, CBS.
I think it's on CBS this year, which I'm disappointed about.
The Super Bowl?
I think it is.
But Jim Nantz is the man, dude.
I'm not a big fan of Phil Simms.
Phil Simms is the funny, is the trademark guy of just go. What the Broncos need to do against the Seahawks today is score more points so they can win the game. He just says very he just says very generic comments that you could tell he has no idea what to say, and he's just if they have any chance of winning the game, they need to stop letting Peyton Manning score and then play defense.
Phil Simms, he knows his stuff. He's a Hall of Fame quarterback. He knows what he's saying. Yeah, but does he say those sometimes? Sure, along with every other play-by-play. And I love Jim Nantz for golf. I'm not a big football Jim Nantz guy. LeVar, who's your favorite football team? You have one? No? Sports team.
Sports team?
Yeah.
I'm a soccer person.
You're a soccer person?
There we go. So now we got 3-1 in the studio with soccer. We're talking about soccer today.
What is there to talk about in soccer?
The fact that Man U is awful, and they play no defense.
We have plenty to talk about. Don't worry.
That's my team, though, so
You're Man U?
Man U?
All right, I am too, so I was equally as disappointed. But we can talk about soccer now. 3-1.
Oh my God.
Maybe,
3-1.
We'll maybe
come on.
Put this in.
Come on.
Can we at least admit soccer is not top news? Maybe in
not in America.
Bloody hell in England, but
wow.
That's true. We should talk about football, the one that you use your hands.
Okay.
The football that requires your hands, aka American football.
Okay.
Which makes no sense to me why you call it football, but
I mean the ball is shaped like a foot. Anyway, a couple of upsets happened yesterday.
That's a debatable.
That is very debatable. But are we going to talk about? Are we going to debate this?
No, we're not going to debate that. But that's a debatable.
That is crazy.
Shaped like a foot, obviously.
There was a couple of upsets yesterday, including the 49ers losing against the Cardinals.
The 49ers just don't look right.
The 49ers do not look right. A lot of penalties happened yesterday.
Bonehead plays.
Taunting. I'm telling you this much. With all the penalties, you know who that's on, right?
It's on Harbaugh.
That's on Harbaugh. No discipline on the team. If this goes for any sport, if your team makes bonehead plays and can't control themselves on the field, that's on the coach. And so if the 49ers do not make the playoffs this year, and they're third in the division behind a 3-0 Cardinals, who are they 3-0?
Yeah, they're 3-0.
Yeah, they're 3-0.
Drew Stanton is the truth.
It's true.
He's the truth. I don't
Carson
know.
Palmer's not coming back.
Yeah, except no one cares because it's Carson Palmer.
In all seriousness, Drew Stanton's doing a pretty good job. In all seriousness,
and they're finally letting him throw.
Yes,
against the Giants, they didn't really let him throw, but he was throwing deep. He was throwing deep balls against the 49ers, which is surprising.
That's true,
and he can run.
Yeah, he's a gifted quarterback. Maybe he's not,
just not.
He wasn't like
gifted.
a number 1 overall pick who's earning millions of dollars. He's just a backup that's taking advantage of his opportunity. You know who else did that?
Tom Brady.
Yes. And where is he now?
He's now.
I thought he was going to go a different way, like he usually does.
I was actually going to say Josh McCown.
Okay, that's not who I was.
Because last year he took advantage of his opportunity And then he got a multi-million-dollar contract with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he's not doing anything.
And he's thriving down there.
Yeah, dude. The Buccaneers
so you can either go the Tom Brady way or
the McCown way.
The McCown way.
Or you can go right in the middle and do the Drew Stanton way.
Oh, for you
do that.
Quick, just want to give a shout-out to Devin Hester, who broke the all-time return touchdown record with 20.
Yeah.
Which is, he has 14 punt returns in his career, which makes me ask, if you're a punter, why would you ever kick it to him? Ever. You should know that, being a Philly fan with Deshaun Jackson when the Giants.
Miracle in the Meadowlands.
Yeah.
Part 2. Pummels it and then returns it. But let's not talk about Deshaun anymore.
Speaking of Deshaun Jackson, let's go to the Washington Redskins Philadelphia Eagles game.
I can talk about the game.
Now, the game got a little bit chippy there.
Oh, my God. That was a dirty hit that the Redskin laid on Nick Foles. Blindside. The play was pretty much done.
The play wasn't around him, but the play was still going on. He was
being tackled to the ground. There was no need to throw a blindside block into him.
That's true. And then Nick Foles got hit pretty hard.
Yeah, he was down for a little bit. And then Jason Peters, the left tackle for the Eagles, decided to step up for his quarterback and go right after the guy who blindsided him, and then take on the rest of the team. And then everyone else came in. And a brawl started, which was awesome.
Yes, brawl started. And it's always fun to watch a brawl.
Riley Cooper ripped the guy's helmet off. That was cool. We saw that one.
That's what baseball's missing. Like, when was the last time you see a guy charge the mounds? Like, the last, solid mound charging we've seen in baseball. That's what I want to see.
The best brawl that I can remember was the Reds versus somebody.
Cardinals.
Reds Cardinals, and they were going into the fans, they were being pushed into the net. That's the last real good one I remember.
I was actually at a game that a brawl ensued. I've
never been to a game where a brawl happened.
It was 2007, I believe, in Shea Stadium, and John Maine was pitching. He pitched a no-hitter until the 7th inning. I think it was Saturday, and the last game was Sunday, and they blew it or something like that. And what else is new? So, and Jose Reyes was taunting, I believe it was Miguel Olivo, the catcher for the Marlins at the time.
Great person to taunt.
and I think, because there was a post-game interview with Jose Reyes after, and Jose was taking it as a joke, and he thought it was a joke because, Miguel Olivo said, "Oh, you want to go or something?" And then Jose Reyes was like, "Yeah, come on, let's go. What do you want to do?" And then Olivo charged. He's like, "Uh-oh."
And then, incidentally, in that brawl with the Eagles in the Eagles game, there was a picture of Deshaun Jackson. There was a picture of the brawl, and Deshaun Jackson kind of on the outskirts, just looking at it, "Do I want to get in? Do I want to get in this?" He never got in it. He just stayed back, like a scared little kid.
If I were, 5'11",
I'm just saying,
180 pounds, I wouldn't want to be in the middle of.
He's all talk.
6'3", 325 pounds of pure punching, which is something I do not want to be around.
The cool thing about the NFL is that you can totally be that guy who just talks all the trash but never actually throws the punch because it's the NFL. You'll get kicked out of the game, so you can just stand there and you're already in full pads. So if someone hits you, all right, it's just you're protected, dude. That's the ultimate free. I'm gonna say whatever I want, except you can't say except a few rules, which Colin Kaepernick got fined for. He said the N-word.
That's why he got the 15-yarder.
Yeah, which is a whole different topic, but. Anyway, I just think if there's a brawl happening and everyone's just talking trash, why not? Why not say something?
Are you promoting brawling and trash talking in the NFL?
Brawling, but trash talking, yes. I think a solid trash talking is great.
But NFL is too soft for that now, and they flag you immediately.
They're just haters. Referees are just haters.
They'll flag you immediately, and you'll get 15 yards each time, and it's annoying at this point.
Yeah.
Well, don't fight other players.
We're not saying fight, just taunt.
Taunting.
You can't taunt. You can't trash talk. You can't do anything.
That's true.
We saw in the 49ers game, the guy went up to him on the sidelines, looked at him, probably said something, and then walked away, and that's a flag.
I miss end zone celebrations too.
Brian Hartline.
He
had the Best celebration on Sunday.
The Miami Dolphins wide receiver.
A 1-yard touchdown pass, he caught it, went over to the corner, and reenacted a putter. A golfer making a putt. Made the putt, went down, and was going you can't see. Shaking his hand oh yeah, it's in.
I think what was that? Joe Horn, the New Orleans Saints,
with the cell phone.
With the cell phone, I miss type of celebrations like that,
with props.
Yeah,
well, now you get fined.
Yeah, with T.O. one time he scored in Dallas or something. He went over to popcorn and just started eating. I miss those things.
That was against the Packers.
I just want.
I love the Sharpie, and he took it out of his sock ball. That was probably my favorite.
Not that important. It's it's the first touchdown of the game, but there's an elaborate celebration. That's what the NFL needs.
Yeah, I miss the days of Chad Johnson, not Ocho Cinco, Chad Johnson celebrations. Those were the best celebrations. Before he got his Ocho Cinco mind going.
Yeah, when people actually planned before games how they would celebrate when they scored. That's what we need in the NFL, because it just shows how cocky you are to be not only am I going to score, but I'm going to celebrate in a way that is really...
The Miami Dolphins running back who scored at the very end of the game with 14 seconds left, and they were he's been waiting 59 minutes and 45 seconds to just do that one celebration.
Yeah.
So, a couple of surprising teams. We mentioned the 49ers being 1-2. Also, the Green Bay Packers are 1-2, and the New Orleans Saints just won their first one, making them 1-2. A couple of powerhouses in the NFC starting at 1-2. I'm going to say a team, and you tell me panic or no panic. Okay. And if you don't know, that's okay. I have no problem with that.
There's no punishment if you don't answer the question.
Yes.
You're banished.
So, let's start with the Saints.
Panic.
Panic?
19 to... What was the score of the game? I think they only scored 19 points, though. 20-9. You should be destroying the Vikings without Adrian Peterson there. At home.
Winning their first game yesterday
Drew
against the Vikings.
Drew Brees, only 293 yards. Their best running back, 69 yards rushing.
Who was that? Was that Pierre Thomas or
Robinson?
Robinson.
Kyrie. So I think that's a real concern. They have not looked good.
Sorry, this chair's freaking out on me. That scared me so much. It was such a small little thing. I was so scared for a second. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, please continue.
Well, I mean, they just don't look good. Their defense isn't that impressive. I mean, you went against the Vikings, and Teddy Bridgewater came in the game, and Matt Asiata or whatever his name is, and they still drove down the field. They just didn't score touchdowns. They couldn't pounce it into the end zone and make it a real game. But against a good team, I think they lose at home. I think they would have lost at home if it was against a good team.
Okay.
Agreed. I would say, I'm going to say they're not panic because they're in the NFC South, and the best team that everyone thought would the Panthers, and they just got tromped by the Steelers.
The Panthers are now 2-1.
Yeah, and then if you look at the Buccaneers or
the Bucs are a joke. Whatever.
Yeah, and then
but the Falcons,
they're just super inconsistent. They're the Falcons, so they're gonna be inconsistent. Where you're either gonna play a really awful team or a really good team, just whatever they're feeling that week. But I just feel like the Saints, they always kind of do this, and they're always awful on the road. So it's just kind of like the same New Orleans Saints team. Not too much not enough defense for their offensive firepower, but usually they'll stuff up at home. And but I don't know if they'll make the playoffs. So I don't think you need to panic, but I don't think it's totally we just need to keep doing what we're doing. There's stuff that they definitely need to change on the defensive end.
Okay, if I was to say my opinion, I'd probably their defense is suspect at best. They're my Super Bowl pick, so I'm going to say no panic. But their defense is bad, and if you do not outscore the Vikings without Adrian Peterson by at least like 14 points, and you have Drew Brees, Jimmy Graham,
Brandon Cooks,
Marcus Colston.
Yeah, like they're kind of offensive weapons.
They're I don't know, maybe they're just not in the right groove yet. I don't know.
I don't even think the Vikings have that great of a defense.
I don't think so either. Let's go to the Packers, another 1-2 team. Panic or no panic?
I'm going to go panic because of that division there, and I just think that, yeah, you have Aaron Rodgers, and he's arguably the best quarterback in all football, which I think he is. But he doesn't have, the foolproof weapons around him anymore, like he used to with like the Greg Jennings, Donald Driver, like he did back then. And James Jones was their worst receiver when they won the Super Bowl, and he could start on any other team back then. And now they're kind of Jordy Nelson's their wonder boy, Eddie Lacy, if they can get that, but their line isn't that great. And then also defensively, it's Clay Matthews and then 10 other guys. It's just like their defense. That's what they got smacked against. That was their problem in the playoffs last year. They just got smacked against when they played against a good offensive team like the 49ers. And I just think the Lions are offensively too good, and then also the Bears are also look pretty good. So I just think that they're kind of in a panic mode just because. Unlike the Saints, they have more pressure within their division.
I thought they did, their defense looked good yesterday, which kind of shocked me. So I don't think they should panic. If their defense can play like that, shutting down Calvin Johnson to under 100, picking off Stafford twice, causing a fumble, they can do that, repeat that or something like that. Aaron Rodgers isn't going to have that bad of a game. Probably again. He had his 2 bad games of the season so far. It's hard to say he's going to have another one. He's just too good to have multiple games.
Yeah, with the Packers, I'm going to say no panic. As long as Aaron Rodgers is behind center and Eddie Lacy's behind him, and they've got Cobb and Jordy Nelson, I'm never going to panic with them, especially on offense. I'm usually panicking on defense, which you could argue, and I expect you to argue that I should panic about their defense. However, they played pretty well yesterday against a high-powered offense, causing Matthew Stafford to turn the ball over 3 times. Currently, the leading team in the NFC North is 2-1, just a game up, which it happens to be the Lions, but we play them again. The Packers play them again. So I'm going to say no panic. We're going to go to our first commercial break here. Next, when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about, I guess, the Monday night game, baseball, and maybe some soccer. So don't go away from your computers on the TuneIn app or the WSJUradio.weebly.com. You don't want to miss the rest of the SportsStop here at WSJU Radio, the voice of St. John's University.
James? Kurt? Yeah. Evan?
Okay.
All right, fellas. Well, let's go! In the mall at the back city, everyone attack and they turn it to a ballroom blitz. And the girl in the corner said, boy, I want you to turn it to a ballroom blitz.
Welcome back to the Sports Up here on WSJU Radio. Call in with your thoughts at 718-990-3SJU. That's 718-990-3758. We just went over a quick recap of this past week in the NFL, the soap opera that is the NFL. But let's quickly go over the Monday Night Football game because that is tonight. We're going to preview that, and it is the Chicago Bears coming into town to face the New York Jets. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh, why is this a Monday night game? I am one of those people. However,
I am too.
I think the Jets will put up a good fight because
they are the favorite in the game.
I'm sure they are. They've got a really good defense. Their run stopping is
the Browns have a better off.
Fantastic.
Bears. Bears have a better offense.
Yeah, except the Bears have that little that what I call the Dallas Cowboy syndrome sometimes, where even though you have all the pieces together, it's like the Man U kind of too. Even if you have all the pieces together, sometimes you just don't remember how to play football. You know, they just sometimes go out there and they're just we have no idea what we're doing, and just no one really knows why they suck, but they just kind of suck that day. So I feel like that's why you always gotta give good defense, and plus the Bears are prone to making mistakes, and Jay Cutler is also known to can have games where he throws a lot of interceptions. So I just feel like you can't count him out. But then again, Geno Smith loves to throw picks too. So it's gonna be. I think either way, it's gonna be a fun game.
Geno Smith's a very young quarterback. You could tell that he's progressive. He's progressively getting better, but he does make a few mistakes here and there. That Bears team with Brandon Marshall and Alshon Jeffrey and Matt Forte and Jay Cutler, possibly the best quad group of players in the NFL.
Yeah, and Brandon Marshall, after that win against the 49ers.
The one-handed grab.
Yeah, I think that just kind of put him hey, I'm up there with the Calvin Johnsons and the...
Yeah, Brandon Marshall, he wasn't supposed to play last Sunday night. And it turns out he did play last Sunday night, and he scored 3 touchdowns in the comeback victory, 28-20, over the San Francisco 49ers. However, I don't think it would be that... I mean, you said the Jets are the favorite today, right, Evan?
I believe they are. I believe they're a 2-point favorite or so.
I mean, I guess... what I'm trying to say is I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets win.
Oh, no.
I was going to say I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets upset. However, if they're the favorite, it wouldn't be an upset.
And plus, I'm not saying, the Jets are a good team right now, but even the years the Jets are off, they're one of those teams that can always put up a fight against a decent team.
Yeah.
You know, no matter what, they always seem to put out, a good fight against, whoever they're playing.
Yes. However, I will make my prediction. I'm going to go 28-20 Bears.
It's the same exact score.
That's the same exact score as last Sunday night. However, I like that score, and I think that's what it's going to be tonight.
I'm going to go 24-14.
24-14 Bears?
Yeah. 10-point game. I think in the end it's just...
Thanks for stealing my score. Now I can't say the same thing you did. I'm going to go... Dang it, dude. That's exact... Okay, I'm going to go 27-17.
An extra field goal. Yeah, which could help out James. He needs all the help he can get from his kicker. He needs a 40-point game from him.
Oh, in fantasy, yes. I need Nick Folk to get about 30, 35, 40 points. All right, let's go quickly into the MLB.
Just that smoothly? We're just going to dive right into the...
Yeah, I mean...
We're not going to...
We spent the whole first half hour on the NFL, and we spent... The past 2 weeks, we spent a full hour on the NFL.
Yeah.
Talking about all this domestic violence stuff, and Ray Rice, and Adrian Peterson, and Greg Hardy, and Roger Goodell, and yada, yada, yada. I kind of want to get away from it.
Yeah.
It's kind of a downer, really.
And baseball's getting on... This one, baseball gets, really interesting. You know?
Yes.
I'm one of those people, I keep up with baseball throughout the year, but then once, it gets down to, the play-in game and then the playoffs, I just get, that's when I get excited.
Right, and that's when everybody gets excited. And speaking of playing game and playoff, a few teams already clinched their tickets to the postseason, including the Orioles, who clinched the AL East, the Angels, who clinched the AL West, the Nationals, who clinched the NL East, the Cardinals, who did not clinch their division, however they clinched a playoff berth, and the Dodgers, same thing. So now the picture's starting to get painted. It's almost finished. We have, 1, 2, 3, then 4, 5. Yeah. We have 5 teams. We need 5 more to go, including the 2 wild card spots. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. The Orioles. Kurt, you're actually going to the game tonight, aren't you?
I am. I'm going to the Yankees-Orioles game tonight at Yankee Stadium, which I'm super pumped about. Probably have to get a cool Jeet or something, just because you can't do it again after this.
That's true.
So it'd be cool to see Jeter tonight. But I think for the Yankees in general, just like it's the typical Yankee season of, all right, we sucked this year. And
that's not really typical, but go ahead.
No, but like let me finish my sentence, please.
Okay, I apologize. Please continue.
We sucked this year, so during the off season, we're just gonna spend more ridiculous amounts of money and get some really good people out here, and then next year we might not suck, even that. But then again, they might, because all those high signings might not work out, and they get A-Rod back.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. This is like going to be the 1 year I can't wait for spring training.
Yeah, that's true.
That I get to watch what unfolds in, where are they, Tampa? The Yankees? What unfolds in Tampa. We have some breaking news here. And it is about soccer, so you guys can talk about it.
Yeah!
I'm gonna struggle with this guy's name. Theo Zwanziger, a FIFA executive board member, believes that Qatar will be stripped of its right to host the 2022 FIFA World Cup.
They should have never got it in the first place.
I agree with that.
It's 120 degrees in the summer. There.
Unbearable conditions,
right? And then they're talking about moving the World Cup to the winter. What's up with that?
Yeah, I heard that they were talking about moving the World Cup to the fall. And who's got the rights to the World Cup in 2022?
It's Qatar right now, but
no, I'm talking about television rights. I mean, ESPN had it this year.
I imagine it's
ESPN. It has to be.
It's got to be ESPN still.
Yeah, because I feel like for FIFA it's different because they have to deal with it on a international basis instead of like in America where like it's just American TV companies.
Gotcha. So if it is on ESPN, the problem with that would be if they moved it to the fall or winter. Football. And if Monday Night Football might be, cut out or things like that because in favor of this.
Besides that, you have to start scheduling the English Premier League to have a 2-month layoff from playing games.
And the English Premier League is going to be like, no way. Can you imagine if you told the NFL, hey, just for like 2 months, just don't have anything? And they would just be like, no. Like, no. Like,
maybe they should take those 2 months off right now.
And then another problem is just scheduling, because you need to schedule everything to have it set up that the teams are ready for the fall or the winter instead of the summer, not having those extra 4 or 5 months to prepare and stuff like that. And you have to, but just the whole scheduling conflict, because you have to schedule 4 years worth of games now.
Yeah. It's just like, it's kind of sad to see, but soccer's biggest problem from like a business, like as a business, FIFA's business, is that like it's way too corrupt. And like it's not really in this country because one, no one cares about soccer, but two,
what?
Okay,
hang on, time out. What'd you say?
No one cares about soccer in
Thank
America.
you.
In the large, like if you like, I care about soccer, and we're like we got people who care about soccer, but like in retrospect, like people do not care. But my point is that like in other countries, all the minor league games that aren't like Division I are usually rigged, and there's some guy paying the ref to call it one way. And it's sad because even at the highest level, that's literally what happened. One dude was trying to become president of FIFA, and he just offered bribed everyone to have it in Qatar and have him president.
But that's with any organization, though, like, doesn't?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Because there's always you're always trying to, like, in the sense of Qatar, it's a huge opportunity to have a World Cup like come to like
monetary profits and everything.
Yeah, like even though you're going to spend billions to set up the stadiums that still have yet to be started.
Hey, that didn't stop Brazil, dude. They didn't finish those things till like a week before the thing.
They weren't finished when it started.
And their streets are still bad. So
same thing with the Olympics in Russia, man. None of that stuff is finished. They may not even be finished for when the Russians have the World Cup.
Except in Russia, they'll just be like, wait. You guys just play. We don't care if you have the stadium. Just play.
Play in the streets. We'll set it up.
Like,
yes.
But I mean,
snipers on the rooftop. Russia. Zwanziger. I really hope I'm saying his name. Zwanziger. ZWAA.
Zwanziger.
Yes,
Yeah.
he actually is.
That sounds better. That sounds better.
He actually is German.
Hey,
perfect.
Oh, fun fact: Zwanziger is an East German name.
Fun fact.
I can tell
Fun
you.
fact.
Yeah, fun fact. That's my second fun fact of the day.
You just pulled out a Jimmy Mitch Nugget.
Yeah, you need your own little
Yeah.
Except nothing
thing going.
like Jimmy McNugget. That's just
Mitch
like,
Nugget.
Mitch Nugget. Yeah, Jimmy Mitch Nugget is just so perfect. Like no. I just right off that. I'm trying to
Zwanziger is saying that personally think that in the end the 2022 World Cup will not take place in Qatar.
Should go
Medics
in America.
Medics say that they cannot accept responsibility with a World Cup taking place under these conditions. They're saying that people from around the world are going to be coming to Qatar to watch the World Cup because, that's what people do. And the first person that, could get seriously injured or even dies of heat exhaustion or heat stroke or whatever, FIFA's going to have a lawsuit on their hindquarters.
Yeah.
Not only the first person, but how many people are going to be
how
like-
many?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it should just be in the U.S. I mean,
Hindsight, it was not a good business decision. However, there is an essence of seem to be a essence of what am I trying to say?
Bribery.
What you say?
Bribery.
Bribery. But what's it called? Starts with a C.
corruption.
Corruption. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ding.
Found the right word, right?
There we go. So yes, there is a essence of corruption in the FIFA air tonight.
Mm.
Well, I mean, it's always been there.
Yeah.
Sadly.
And
I mean, but that's
FIFA loves
why
to corrupt
US
things.
That's why USA didn't get it because I don't think we bribed them.
Probably not. But in
I think-
hindsight,
'cause
with
I
the
think we're
business mind, wouldn't it be?
Business minded would make sense.
It would make sense to go to America because
We were the most profitable World Cup in '98. Was it? Or
Was that in
something
Chicago?
94, 94. 'cause That's
94?
the year Colombia and
Yeah,
the Escobar
that
guy
thing.
got shot.
Okay, we had that.
That was the most profitable World Cup.
All
I
right.
believe.
There's evidence. Exhibit A. Exhibit B would be you could possibly raise more awareness because soccer is on the upward rise in awareness in America.
Very true.
I think
True.
people. I think it would be I think it would be even more profitable now. I mean, 'cause
Exactly.
It's back in '94. How many people really swarmed to soccer? Right.
Not really that many. And now
Now-
that USA Soccer is actually
20 years
relevant
later?
in a small way, but they're still relevant. They're still making news. They're still on
Got the
ESPN.
Tim Howard and everything. Yeah,
Tim
that-
Howard,
Yeah.
Clint Dempsey. You got those guys.
I mean, not to mention just with a Chicago or a New York, profit alone for those cities would be huge. With tourism coming in,
Oh yeah, definitely.
everyone trying to see World Cup. I mean, it's a huge opportunity.
It's a huge.
And
It would be a huge opportunity for America, along with every other
along with FIFA.
host country.
Well, it's just like the Super
That would
Bowl.
be
If you
hosting
just
a
took the
FIFA
Super
event.
Bowl and applied it to the world, and then made it a month long, that's how much money you would make. Like honestly,
Pretty much, yeah.
over 1 billion people watch the final game.
yeah.
The
So
highest
especially
ratings,
in
yeah,
America,
in America.
TV companies would just go, just go crazy
it would
for
be
that.
huge.
It would just be a huge frenzy for that. And I
Well-
think the problem with Qatar is everyone's just like, one, how are you going to have 32 teams play? Like, I feel like you need to have multiple stadiums.
They don't have
multiple areas to play.
They have
like-
have their main stadium in a place that is not even developed yet.
Yeah,
It's supposed to be in this community setting, and that's not even made yet.
yeah, and just
I
like
saw
Qatar
that.
is a very tiny, it's not a
Exactly. You have to look for it on the map. Like where?
Right.
yeah.
Zoom in on it.
You just go to Saudi Arabia, and
You're
it's
lucky
just,
if you
this little
can.
dot,
You're lucky if you can
right-
pronounce the country. Starts with a gosh darn Q and it doesn't have a U after it.
Qatar?
What is it?
But you're
Like,
supposed to say, yeah, I think it's
Qatar.
It's
I think
Qatar.
it's Qatar.
It's not English, I'll tell you that much. So anyway, yeah, hindsight 2020. Maybe they wouldn't want to take a bribe from Qatar.
Except I think that the bribe was just like a lot of money, and like a lot of those guys.
I would
like,
hope so.
I like money, so
Qatar is one of the richest areas, though. Like they have a lot of money there.
Yeah, I just don't think it's big enough.
Extremely hot summers as well.
120 degrees, which makes no sense to play soccer. And they're talking about
not okay.
They were talking about having artificial clouds for the stadiums. Like what?
Yeah, at what point? Like, I feel like at that point when you're making fake clouds, that's just too much effort.
When you're messing with Mother Nature.
Yeah, like when you have to change the air. Like, I feel like that's the point where like, all right, guys, this is way too much.
It sounds epic, but in hindsight, it's a horrible idea.
All right. So, yeah, that's the breaking news about FIFA. You're welcome, soccer fans.
Everyone in Marillac is probably clapping right now.
I doubt that.
In unison, just like
slowly clapping.
Just
clap.
Swallow the pride, James. Swallow the pride. Now, we had that in. Are you guys happy? We could of course talk a little bit more. Yeah, you want to keep going? We'll go baseball next segment.
Yes.
All right, what's going on in the soccer world
All right,
right now?
Man U is probably like I've never seen a team that never ever play defense. Like what?
What about the New York Knicks?
Hey, dude, but in basketball it's different. Like it's just like
you can give up points in basketball.
Yeah, in basketball
when
you
can
score
3 goals in soccer. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
It's definitely a lot to come back from. Like,
and Di Maria had probably the greatest chip I've seen in like
beautiful.
Oh, I know.
Floated it right over the goalie.
But the news was with Man U recently, they were winning 3-1 and then they lost 5-3.
Yeah.
Yes.
Against, help me out here,
Leicester City.
Leicester.
Which is just like a team.
They're no Chelsea.
They're a bottom team.
It's more of like the team. It's a new team because Van Gaal, he has the transfer window was open and he had all these new players come in.
What do you have?
And
like
then he has to then mesh them together. Like they have to play. They have to know each other. Like
they have no chemistry right now.
Exactly.
But the problem is he did not bring in a single defender to help that team.
I mean, Blind is somewhat of a defender.
He's more midfield though.
Yeah.
For the Manchester United team, he's more midfield. I feel like, and he played great in the midfield. The 2 games he's played, I thought he's played great.
From like midfield up, they're
It's
like
great.
one of the best
attacking.
Teams.
They're perfect.
Amazing, but it's just the last that they just.
I take that back.
I forgot. You're supposed to play defense in like a competitive game.
They made one defensive signing. They got Rojo, which I do like. I do like him.
And
which means red in Spanish.
Oh
yeah, he's Argentine.
But I think the biggest news story was Frank Lampard getting the equalizing goal against his old team, Chelsea.
Did you see his face?
Yeah, like he scored and he was just like, I'm not celebrating. I feel kind of bad.
Like he didn't.
I shouldn't have done it.
Just to equate this to you, okay, imagine if the year Brett Favre played for the Minnesota Vikings, he went to Lambeau Field.
Which he did.
And then threw a game,
and
then in the overtime threw a game-winning, or like, with 2 minutes to go, led an 80-yard drive down the field to tie the game.
That's a bad one for him.
I mean,
because he went to the Jets, he went all over.
Yeah, no, but imagine, okay, like who else?
I mean, he did come when he did return to.
Yeah, it'd be like David. Okay, yeah, it'd be like David Wright going to the Braves, and then hitting a walk-off.
Like
okay.
In the playoffs, Game 7 or something like that, where it's like,
okay, was this game that important?
Well, it's two huge teams though.
Okay, but is it a playoff?
No, it's not.
So it's not like a Game 7.
No, but it's the fact that he played 15 years at a club.
Okay.
And then to score against them.
Right, I get that, but it doesn't have to be a playoff situation.
No.
I'm just trying to create the scenario for you that you would.
No, you're just trying to break my heart.
That
Frank Lampard is now on New York Football Club. They signed him, right?
Yeah, except right now he's playing for Man City, who owns NYCFC. and he's just playing with them until their team gets started.
But like his face after scoring
spring.
that goal.
But by the way, NYCFC is probably going to be the best team in the MLS because they got David Villa and Frank Lampard, who are still just going to ball up on people.
Who's their defense?
Who cares, dude?
What do you mean?
The difference. Manchester United has no defense.
Did we not just talk about
MLS though? It's the MLS. If you can beat the Seattle Sounders, you can beat any other team. Like,
I don't think they could beat the Sounders at all.
Well, you don't even know the team yet. But I think
that's my point exactly.
But I think they're going to be, and the Sounders got tromped on by the Red Bulls.
Yeah, and that's
we talk about MLS here.
I actually watched that game.
Yeah. I had it on. He was watching it. He was impressed by Dempsey. Dempsey's goals.
I do like Dempsey.
And he was
true red, white, and blue.
He was saying nice pass and all that good stuff. So I was proud of him for that.
Like, I know how to play soccer. I know what to look for. So it's not like
the rules of soccer got like. You just look for the ball going into the net, and that's a point.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, they're just like.
And then you look for a guy screaming "my leg" after not being touched, and then somebody gets called for a card.
Yeah.
And then
what are the two cards?
And then the guy gets up and scores yellow and red. Stop it! Don't test me. Don't belittle me.
Yellow and red.
I was right, wasn't I?
You were.
Oh my goodness!
But a little fact about since 2010, it was the first time that Manchester United, Manchester City, Chelsea, I think just those teams, they didn't record a win on the same weekend.
Wow, that's crazy.
So 4 years since that's happened. Like that's saying how dominant they have all been.
And
the past
Evan
4
Nugget?
years.
Yeah, that's another nugget.
Yeah.
A Mr. Magoo's Nugget?
Mr. Magoo's Nugget.
Evan Magoo Nugget?
Evan Magoo. But I think also another cool storyline from the Premier League is last week everyone was just giving Mesut Ozil so much trash about how he's like so awful and he just sucks. Mm-hmm. And then he just had a really just like breakaway and just ripped it right by the keeper. 36th minute this weekend in Arsenal's 3-0 win over I want to say Aston. Was it Aston?
West Ham or West Ham? West Ham.
I know
it was one of those.
Yeah, West
Aston
Brom
Villa?
or Aston.
Villa? Was it Villa?
I don't know, one of those teams. But I just always love it when, when a sports star is just getting, everyone in the media is just like, you suck. Sorry, it's just James' face while we talk about soccer.
No, I have a serious question.
The disinterest in his face is so funny to me.
I have a serious question.
All right, go.
Where are the Norwich City Canaries right now?
They're in the championship.
Are they in the English Premier League anymore?
I don't think
Did they get relegated down to the Coca-Cola League? Is it still called the Coca-Cola League? Somebody please look this up. I'm a huge Canaries fan. All right?
Oh, I spelled that so wrong.
Norwich City, of course, is. It's a little city in England.
Official website of the Canaries.
Thank you. keep looking it up. I need to know.
Shrewsbury Town. So they got relegated.
They got relegated.
No way is a team called Shrewsbury in the Premier League.
Wait, did you just say Shrewsbury Town?
It said Shrewsbury Town on the top.
Shrewsbury Town. Why isn't it just Shrewsbury?
Bolton's down.
They're playing
Bolton got
Bolton,
relegated.
which is probably named after the singer Michael Bolton.
Said I loved you, but I lied. Ever hear that Michael Bolton song?
Have
you ever heard that song again? Yeah. Said I love you, but I lied?
Yeah.
I'm surprised because I never heard it before until like a year ago. Oh, Michael Bolton. Speaking of Michael Bolton, we got some Bruce Springsteen coming on right now.
Yeah! Gotta love Bruce.
So it's 11:26. We're going to go to our second commercial break. We're going to come back and do another segment of Let It Go.
Yes. Let It Go.
Call in with your soccer thoughts about FIFA, Qatar, MLS.
Hey, it's Qatar.
Qatar, get it right.
The Canaries, which I would love to accept a phone call about the Norwich City Canaries, and I will handle all of each question. All right, I'll turn your mics off so I can just talk one-on-one about the Canaries. So yeah, stick around for the final segment of the SportsStop here on WSJU Radio, the voice of St. John's University.
Everybody's got hungry heart.
Welcome back to the Sports Stop.
Welcome back to the SportsStop here on WSJU Radio, the voice of St. John's University. We are about to do one of our newest segments. In fact, it is our newest segment. It is Let It Go. We did this once before, and it is one of my favorite segments, which is new. Call in at 718-990-3SJU. That's 718-990-3758 for all of your questions answered by us, quote-unquote, radio experts of the sports world.
You mean we're not radio experts yet?
Hey. Not yet. However, I have put it on my resume. Sport radio expert. Hasn't worked yet. All right, so without further ado, let's get into Let It Go.
Time to move on.
The past is in the past.
It's time to let it go.
Let it go. Let it go. When I rise like the break of dawn.
Let it go, ladies and gentlemen, let it go. Always remember to let it go. Of course, that's from the Disney movie Frozen. Here I stand at the light of day.
This is a
Sing
sports
along.
show, not a you singing into the.
Listen, you're lucky I'm not belting this note right here. Alright? The cold never bothered me anyway. Good. Never bothered me either.
Yes, it did. Every single day.
All the time. All right, so we have a let it go moment. LeVar, if you don't have one yet. Do you have one?
Not yet.
Not yet? All right, just keep thinking. And if you don't have one, it's all right. We put you on the spot. Kurt, what is your let it go moment of the week?
All right, mine's going to the University of California, who this weekend thought they had the game won, and then a Hail Mary by my hometown, University of Arizona. I'm rocking the shirt even.
I see that.
Through Hail Mary at the end of the game, just, the last, literally the Hail Mary where everyone just goes into the end zone and you just hope one guy on your team comes up with it. And amazingly, it did. And, Cal defense just, wow, come on, dude. Like,
what do they got to do, Kurt?
You just got to keep it together for one play. And you just got to let it go.
Let it go. Let it go.
Yes, they do. They just need to let it go. It happens. Maybe it's a little embarrassing here and there, but it happens. Evan, do you have a let it go moment?
It's kind of like the Hail Mary or something.
No.
What?
Nothing. Nothing.
Let it go?
No.
Listen, what are you talking about?
Nothing. You'll hear it when you cut it and post it on YouTube. You'll hear it.
You said something about the Hail Mary.
Yes, I did.
Who's got to let that go?
No, you do.
Maybe. However.
But, all right. My let it go.
Hail Mary.
He's mad about it still.
I am mad about it still.
My let it go might be you.
My
let it go goes out to a professional team that made it look like they were still in college. NFL team should not be losing 56-14 ever. And the Bucks successfully look like a college team out there, and they're all professionals. So they might have to let this one go, or let the entire season go.
Let it go. Let it go.
Either way, they got to let something go. Maybe they're players. I don't know.
Lovey Smith, you got to let it go.
All right. I have two.
Ooh, big shot.
One is my serious let it go. Well, actually, no. This is not my serious let it go. One is Eagles cornerback Kerry Williams. Spent all week nursing a hamstring injury.
Still had to practice.
He still had to practice. And now he's saying, oh, Chip Kelly, he's making us work too hard. That's why we're going off to slow starts. We're a little tired.
And that's why they're 3-0, right? Oh.
Listen, yeah, they're 3-0. All right? If you're complaining about practicing, listen, it's not
talking about practice.
And this isn't even like an Allen Iverson thing. It's not like he doesn't want to practice. He's not saying that he doesn't want to practice. He's just saying that he's a little banged up. Oh, because, you'll play in the NFL. So you're a little banged up. You don't want to practice too hard. My coach is pushing me too much. Stop it. Let that go, Kerry Williams, Eagles cornerback. You are 3-0. You are lucky to be in the NFL, and you are lucky to be undefeated in the NFL. So, Kerry Williams, you got to let it go.
Let it go. Let it go.
All right, my other one, which is my serious one, my let it go is me. I have, it's come to my attention that I have a addictive personality. I have addicted to, some may say, fantasy football, fantasy sports in general. M&Ms, Twix, anything. But in all seriousness, I am addicted to smoked meat sticks.
Oh god!
So it is a problem for me.
Did you finish that entire thing?
Not yet. But I can't wait till I do. But I will also feel bad when I do it. Because there were 100 smoked meat sticks in that box.
Probably 20 left.
There's probably about, I want to say 12? A dozen?
God.
A dozen left?
How long have you had the box of meat?
I mean, I've had it since I've moved down here, which was, what was the first week of school? 2 weeks ago?
You've gone through 100 meat sticks.
Not even that.
In 3 weeks.
Not even that. Not even that. I went through
That's like
88 meat sticks because I didn't have them that first week. So I went through 88
in 14 days.
in like 10 to 14 days. Yes.
That's like 8 meat sticks per day.
I know. I have a problem.
Like you were telling me that you were just laying in bed one time and you just they were just.
I've
there.
eaten them for dinner, man. I've eaten them for dinner. It's a problem. I'm gonna get the meat sweats. So yes,
That's
Jimmy
the
Mitchie,
funniest
gotta
thing
let it
I've
go.
heard all day.
Smoked meat steak. I'm jonesing for one right now, though.
That's kind of appropriate that you like the Packers because, in Wisconsin, that's all. Any gas
Smoked
station
meat
is
sticks,
just smoked.
bratwurst, cheese.
Yeah, that seems like a you type of place.
It's hearty. All right, so let's go into America's pastime, baseball. We kind of touched on it a little bit, talking about the playoff teams. But let's talk about the local New York Yankees and Masahiro Tanaka.
Thank God he's back.
Tanaka's back. Pitched yesterday, went 5 1/3, third innings. Gave up 1 earned run, striking out 4 against the Toronto Blue Jays. A lot of people said that they should have sat him for the season. Now, the guy's got a partial tear in his UCL. If that tore, it's Tommy John surgery.
Yeah. It's almost like they kind of want it to tear. That way you can just get it over with.
See, that's what I'm kind of thinking. But if they wanted to just get it over with,
they would have pitched him already.
No, they could just fix it right now because it's a partial tear.
Yeah.
However,
with a partial tear, would that still require the usual length of?
Matt Harvey had a partial tear.
So it still requires
yes, requires a full season, like 12 months.
12 months.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Well, you're just dealing. I feel like you're just dealing with such a sensitive part of your elbow,
that you use constantly.
Yeah.
As a pitcher.
I don't think we it just must be crazy to have legit need Tommy John surgery because I bet you just try and do some imagine
even
just it just must be hard just to even I couldn't imagine it tearing the ligament that controls how you bend your elbow
right? Yeah.
Your arm would just be dangling and you'd be I want to bend it but I can't.
Time out. R.A. Dickey does not have a UCL.
That's why there's a knuckleball.
Yeah. But
for some reason,
he's just a weak. Isn't it just he just never had one, and then they just? Or
I
did
think,
he tear it? And
I
then
think
they
he tore it as a kid, but never did anything about it, and just sort of deteriorated. I think that's what James Andrews told him that could have happened. So that might have happened, but I think that's a pretty cool little Jimmy Mitch nugget.
We are filled with fun facts today.
Yes,
I know, dude. We are all over the place.
Yes, we are. So yeah, what do you think, Evan? Especially since you are a Yankee fan, what do you think about Masahiro Tanaka? It's the last week of the season. What do you think about him pitching right now?
I mean, at this point, I thought they should have just let him have the surgery back when he first hurt it. That way they can get it done, get it over with, so he can be back by.
However, he may
All-Star break.
He may not need
it. Yeah, but I mean, he looked good pitching. He looked good pitching yesterday on a pitch count. I think he only had 70, 75 pitches or something like that. He got through 6 innings.
5 1/3.
5 1/3. Practically. Okay, almost there.
Almost there.
But he got the win.
Yes, he did get the W.
So, but I think they really just were banking on him on being in the playoff in like one of the top 2 spots already, and they really just want to try and keep their hopes alive. And Tanaka's really, besides Jeter, it's the only way you can get butts in the seats this year.
It's
them,
true.
It seems like,
especially the Asian market, the Japanese market. But are the Yankees out of the wild card race? No,
they're not.
They have
a huge series.
They have a huge series. They have a week left to get that second wild card spot, and possibly have Tanaka pitch that 1-game playoff. What are the chances?
Slim.
Slim.
Slim Jim.
Yeah, you shouldn't snap into a Slim Jim right now, dude.
You guys are jerks. I shared something secretive and private with you guys. And Marillac cafeteria. You're making fun of me. Gosh darn it. So anyway, their chances are slim. I would have said, no, if you're not going to get the surgery, don't have him pitch this year, because odds are you're not going to make the playoffs.
You might as well just rest it up and have it heal as much as possible.
Yeah, before next season.
Yeah.
Now, you could argue that, if you do that, it might tear in the first game of spring training next year, and he'd be out for another year.
It's a possibility.
It's a touchy situation. You don't know what to do with that. If I would hate to be the Yankees medical team to determine what to do with their new 7-year
ace.
$120 million ace. It's hard to do.
But I mean, he had good velocity. He had good movement.
His splitter was, of course, nasty.
Yeah, I mean, all that's there. I mean, it's typical rust with locating your pitches when you come off 8 weeks or something like that.
And that's expected.
Yeah, but I think his velocity looked good. It was still in that 92, 93. He can touch 94.
But now it's in the back of his mind, oh my gosh, I have a partially torn ligament in my elbow.
It didn't seem like it, though.
Do you think that could affect him in some way? Like mentally?
Well, I think it definitely does, because if you think about it, you're throwing a pitcher get got there, throw like 80, 90 pitches, maybe a little bit more, and you're throwing half of those. Well, Tanaka's going to throw around like at least percentage-wise, at least 30 or 40 are going to be in the 90s.
Right.
So that means every time you're throwing that ball, that's just another chance for your elbow to get messed up. And like you said, every time he throws it, or like after like an inning, he's like, all right, how's my elbow feel? Okay, gotta make sure my elbow. Like once you get injured, it's just
it's traumatic.
Yeah.
But isn't that with like any athlete though? I mean, the chance that you can get potentially severely hurt and miss extended time,
like RG3.
Right. Yes.
That should be in. I feel like that should be in your mind regardless.
But like, it's more in your mind if it's there and you know it's there and you know it could get worse and you didn't do anything about it. Like, you rehab, but you didn't surgically get it repaired.
I think it's different in baseball too, because like if you're a pitcher, like the one thing you can't have messed up is your arm. Like that's how you make a living, your arm. And like it's not like football players where like obviously if you tear your ACL you can't play because you need to run, but like you get paid for what you like other things you do. It's not directly what you use your legs for. Like if you're a pitcher, like the only way you can do anything is with your arm, and like whether your arm can stay with what you're doing or not. And I think in baseball it's different because especially for pitching, because pitching is probably like the finest line of like. Because I feel like there's so many guys who've had the potential to be great, but then it's always that one thing, like they can't develop a second pitch or second, third pitch, or even
right,
and then or their arm just gets just throw it out, just like there's nothing.
I mean, pitchers complain about dead arm a lot, especially early on in the season. So you never know if that dead arm is actually more serious than not. But with Tanaka, you know that the injury's there. It's got to be in the back of your mind. What you went with football and torn ACL? Yeah, if Marshawn Lynch tore his ACL, yeah, I'm sure that'd be traumatizing.
I don't think Marshawn Lynch would be affected by it.
Probably not.
You'd just be like, beast mode.
Just be like, all right,
give me some
beast
Skittles.
Mode, don't care.
Give me some Skittles.
Yeah.
I'm going to be healed up. Let's go. Yeah. He doesn't need the surgery. He just needs some Skittles.
But Rub some Skittles on it. That's going to be the new term.
Yeah.
Taste the rainbow. ACL. But, like, if he tore his ACL, yeah, it'll be traumatizing and things like that. But, like, it would also have to stay with him because you always see it seems like once you do have some sort of leg injury, whether it's hamstring, ACL, things like that, the more you play it gets sore. Even if you do have it surgically repaired, it's sore.
Arian Foster.
Yes, Arian Foster. So it's going to be a little interesting to see if this does get to Tanaka. I wasn't watching the game yesterday, for the Yankee game yesterday, so I don't know. Like, by the looks of his stats, 5 1/3 on a pitch count, 1 earned. I believe that happened early.
First inning.
First inning.
That's the one play we actually watched.
Yes, we did actually
double
watch
play.
that. And against a good Blue Jays offense, he pitched like it. By the looks of it on paper, it looks like it didn't affect him at all. But I mean, if you think about it, it could possibly mess with him mentally.
I think it's just like a down the road problem because you don't know what the status of that, part of.
You don't know how long it could hold up, or if it's just a ticking time bomb waiting to snap.
Yeah.
And they have him for 7 years, so they better hope that ligament stays strong for 7 years. Let's go back. Let's continue with the Yankees. Of course, we'll talk more about this next week.
Can we just talk about it next week?
No, it's the biggest news, possibly in baseball. It's like Trump's even playoffs. You still have a week left. How are you going to spend that week, Evan? Of course, we're talking about the Derek Jeter retirement.
I'm going to the game tonight, actually.
I'm actually going to Boston on Friday and watching the Yankees play the Red Sox. Yes.
Well, that's a fun one.
So that's going to be my last Derek Jeter
Fenway's going to have
memory.
a lot of Yankee fans there, though.
I feel like that would happen, too.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a sight to see.
Well, yeah, that's the only point to go to Yankee games anymore. Go see Derek Jeter. It's like, I don't know what to compare it to. Like, Derek Jeter's last game at Yankee Stadium, that's like just the... I don't know, like George Washington.
That would be...
like something like George Washington, like something like so...
Like his last presidential address.
Yeah. Or
like that, and like you've led up to it for like a full year.
Yeah.
Just epic.
Which is genius marketing by the Yankees, who's ever in charge of the Yankee marketing. They're like...
You can argue... I heard some people argue that it's like despicable what they're doing. They're branding him.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a business. It's a business.
Yeah.
But Derek Jeter's...
He's the icon.
Yes, Derek Jeter's the icon, but Derek Jeter's mentality is, I don't really want this. I just want to play the game.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing is going against his mentality.
Yeah, but also I feel like it's kind of... I would say that if like Derek Jeter was like this year, if he was just like putting up ridiculous numbers and like playing really well.
If they were going to, if they clinch a playoff spot, I'd say, all right, this is baloney.
Yeah, but his numbers aren't that great. I think he hit his first home run in Yankee Stadium like a week ago, and he's not like he's still playing on a professional baseball team, but like he's not the Derek Jeter who from the past who like he's not gonna go get a ground ball, jump up in the air for 2 seconds, and then launch it to first base. He's gonna maybe get the ball and be like, oh, all right, I got the ball. Like Derek Jeter, he's just like he looks like someone who's towards the end of his career, and
he looks like he's 40.
Yeah,
which he is.
Yeah, like he looks like he's ready to retire, and like no one's gonna like take that. Like when you retire, it's your business, dude. Like when you want to walk away from the game, it's all him. But I think like he told the Yankees, like, yeah, I'm not playing with A-Rod. Screw that.
I want my last year to be A-Rod for it. And if this is the only chance I get, this is the one I'm taking. So I think this is going to be an easy question, but of course the NFL is the upper echelon of television ratings.
Yeah.
Thursday Night Football is, NFL. And I believe Thursday night is Jeter's last home game. Or is that Wednesday?
I think it's Wednesday.
Is it Wednesday, or do they have Thursday?
No,
do they have Thursday off?
No, I think it's Thursday.
Is it Thursday? And I'm sure it's a night game.
I'm pretty sure it's Thursday. Right? I'm questioning it.
Yeah, we'll get the Kurt the fact checker on the horn here.
Thursday night game.
Thursday night game against who again?
Baltimore. They're starting their 4-game series.
4-game set against
Orioles
Baltimore
today. That goes through Thursday. All at Yankee.
What do you think the ratings will be compared to the NFL? You think
Who's playing
NFL would be
Thursday night?
higher or lower? Who's playing Thursday night? That's a good question. I heard it this morning.
It's Giants and
Giants and Redskins.
Redskins. Yeah, it's going
New York market again.
Yeah, exactly.
But which New York?
Which New York?
Who's New York going to really go to?
I think it's going to be Jeter.
I think
it's got to be Jeter.
It's going to be the lowest ratings they will ever have on Thursday Night Football.
And also they're playing Boston, and that's just like...
See,
a Boston Yankees, people would watch that even if Derek Jeter...
Orioles.
It's Orioles.
Yeah.
Orioles. So, but even like it's still division rivals. So people are interested. But I still feel like it's kind of I think that they will definitely beat out Thursday Night Football. Because I know like some arguments were like during the World Series, so, like Monday Night Football has been known to like trump World Series games. Except lately the World Series is always like 4-0 or like.
I mean the World Series
sometimes
has been good.
I would say yes, no, but like sometimes I think when people are saying that, I think one of the games it was just a blowout, and I think that's just what happens with the NBA and major MLB is that like because once you get to the finals, it's a 7-game series,
right?
So it's hard to maintain. Like the Super Bowl is one,
games.
like everyone just needs to the Super Bowl Sunday is like a holiday, and everyone like watches the Super Bowl.
And it's just one day, 7-game series. You could argue, it takes a commitment.
Yeah. So, but I just think it's gonna be exciting to see Derek Jeter tonight, and then I do think that, especially because the New York market, no matter what the Eli Manning or the Giants do, Derek Jeter will always be more popular.
Now here's throwing a monkey wrench into things. Will Thursday's night's game at Yankee Stadium be Derek Jeter's last game he plays?
No.
You think he will play
Boston.
in Boston?
He plays against Boston.
He has to.
Because Ted Williams did this when he retired. He played his last game in Fenway Park. Then he had a road series against the Yankees. He did not play.
He'll play against
Mariano
Boston.
Rivera did not play against Houston.
Mariano
last year.
Rivera had his arm pretty much ripped off, practically.
Yes, I agree with that.
And it looks like he's a closer.
Yeah, so it's a little different.
I don't know if he'll play a full game, but they might do what they do when Cal Ripken used to be hurt for the Orioles. Cal Ripken, that's what I love with like the record, and then but towards the end, even if he's like, I can't play. They would just be like, all right, go out there for an inning, start, and then you'll come back in. And that's literally what that's how they got away with that. They would just be like, we really hope no one hits it to Cal this play. Take anything away from Cal.
I was just throwing a monkey wrench into things because he could possibly do that. That could definitely happen, especially if the Yankees are out of playoff contention by then.
Yeah. Oh, and also,
we know that the Red Sox are out of playoff contention.
Yeah, but I don't know. It is against the Red Sox, though.
Yeah,
that's
which if it's against any other team, I don't necessarily see him playing after Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
But it's against the Red Sox.
Yes.
So I really think that he's going to play against them.
And after all the years that Derek Jeter has just been
and that's the
waiting
type
to
of
bat up and all the trash, all the Red Sox.
That's the type of
people
player he is, though.
Yeah,
he's not
just
the type of guy that
just let me play the game, and so that's why I do think that he will play. However, it's stuck in the back of my because, like I said, I have tickets for Friday night in Boston.
What happens if he doesn't?
If he doesn't play, I'm disappointed. We got those tickets. Sure, my family's it's a Red Sox family. My mom and my little brother, and it's my mom's birthday coming up.
From worst to first to worst.
Yes. So we have tickets for one of the last games in Fenway Park this year,
and that's why I think he will play, just because even Fenway will be
Fenway will
goodbye,
they will.
Derek Jeter.
Yes, they will cheer him. They cheered Mariano Rivera last year,
and even Big Papi will be like.
I think the only other place that gave him a louder ovation than Fenway Park last year was Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
So maybe Jeter will do that. Of course, he's going to get his gift Sunday or whatever.
Yeah. Here's the only problem, though. He's going to be playing how many straight games? Friday might be the only game he would get off and let him play the last two.
Is it a Friday night?
Yeah, Friday night into Saturday day.
Saturday day? maybe Saturday day game will be
off.
That's what I'm hoping.
Except also Derek Jeter, like,
it is
you use 7 more games in your entire MLB career, and he might just want to be like.
Actually, I did see a report that Joe Girardi's putting him out. He's gonna he wants to play every game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that you mentioned that, I did see a report. I think it was ESPN New York.
I saw he wanted to play every game when he was at home. I saw that. I didn't see all of them.
I don't know. Here,
well,
let me see if I can find it really quickly.
I think it's just up to, like Joe Girardi's definitely just going to go up to Jeter and be like, what do you want to do? Because
honestly, it's
really
on Jeter.
It's honestly all on Jeter.
You can't.
Joe Girardi's like, you're more famous, you're more beloved, and have more say than I do. So, like, what do you want to do?
Are you really going to bench him against his will?
Yeah, no.
He's Derek Jeter.
Now, also, really quick, story came out. Buster Olney wrote this for ESPN that the Jeter tour is hurting the Yankees. Jeter is batting number 2. He has subpar numbers, which is understandable because he is 40. Is that affecting the Yankees' playoff chances? Could they put somebody else better than Derek Jeter in there, or at least put him down the lineup, things like that?
Possibly, I don't think it would benefit. It's not like night and day. I don't think. I don't think if they put someone else in too, maybe they'll score more. But also, I don't think it's a huge difference. But I just feel like but I do agree that they are definitely obligated to put Derek Jeter at the number 2 spot.
Yes,
and after all he's done for the Yankees, I like the insulting that you don't put him at the number 2.
Right, but the sport, Yankees postseason always, right? Yeah, usually, is Derek Jeter hurting their postseason chances? I think that's what Buster Olney is arguing, that he is hurting their chances, but because he is, the captain and they want to give him a gentleman's farewell tour, things like that.
They have to keep him there.
They have to keep him there, but that's hurting their playoff chances and their, chances of winning. I mean, what's more important? Is Derek Jeter more important, or is winning more important?
It's tough.
I know.
That is tough.
That's
when you put it that way, it's very difficult.
Those two things used to equal one thing,
Exactly.
Yeah. But now it's
now not so much.
Well, they don't have to deal with it.
You can still win games after Jeter. That's the crazy. That's the thing.
Yes.
You can still win games after Jeter.
Yes.
Jeter won't come back.
I don't know who that shortstop will be, but
Life After Jeter.
Life After Jeter. That's going to be a documentary, and it's just going to be Yankee fans crying,
as we see Stephen Drew play
as you see Stephen Drew play shortstop. Yankee fans will be weeping into their beers and popcorn in the stadium.
The worst.
With
that's the worst ever. That's the guy who spoke before Abraham Lincoln at the Gettysburg Address. That's like Drew. That would suck to be the guy who replaced Derek Jeter as a shortstop.
Yes, it's like replacing. It's like Steve Young replacing Joe Montana, or Aaron Rodgers replacing Brett Favre.
They're never going to be good enough.
Exactly.
Well, Rodgers did though.
Yeah.
That's true, and Steve Young did. Hall of Fame. All right, it is 11:59 here on September 22nd, about to be the noon o'clock hour. We want to thank you for listening to the Sports Stop here on WSJU Radio, the voice of St. John's University. You never heard noon o'clock? You never heard noon o'clock?
Just you, buddy.
Okay, I know I didn't make that up. So yes, thanks for listening, whether it was on TuneIn app while searching WSJU Radio, or downstairs in the Marillac cafeteria, or even on our website, wsjuradio.weebly.com. We recorded the show. It's going to be up on YouTube later on this week, probably Wednesday, hopefully Wednesday. You can follow us on Twitter at SportsStop.WSJU, and our YouTube channel is SportsStop.WSJU. So for LeVar Burton, thanks for coming in today. It was awesome. Kurt Sem and Evan McGuire, I'm James Mitchell, wishing you a good day, and life is good today. Let's keep it that way.
Yeah, the Sultans